This is Football Night in America, served by Applebee's.
Hello and welcome to your Week 15 recap. Maria Taylor alongside Mike Florio, actually in the studio, ladies and gentlemen. Tony Dungy and Jason Garrett here with you. And it's only fitting that we just have the craziest week probably we've seen so far in the season while you're in here, Mike.
Yeah, I got to come back every week.
Exactly. We've had great and exciting games, and we got to start in Vegas with the way the Patriots ended the game. We could have been going into overtime, but instead it was a lateral to a Chandler Jones touchdown and a Vegas win. How can you even describe the way this game ended?
You know, it's funny you say the way the Patriots ended the game. I can't help but think whether or not this game ends the Patriots. And I know that is sweeping way too broadly, but what the hell? It's Christmas. Let me do it. The dynasty was born with a win over the Raiders, with the tuck rule. That was the moment it started. How can you not look at what happened today and ask yourself, is this the moment it ends? Is this the moment we officially say it's done?
And talk about irony. That's ironic. Bill Belichick's comment will be, we're on to Cincinnati, because that's who they've got next week, right? On to Cincinnati. And
they may not want to be on to Cincinnati this year.
Right.
Yeah, but, you know, I just cannot believe I'm seeing New England play like this. I coached against those guys for years, and you always said, you've got to beat them. They're not going to beat themselves. And then we see these uncharacteristic mistakes.
Yeah, and they beat themselves before the lateral, the touchdown. They're up a touchdown late, under a minute to go, no timeouts, man-to-man coverage. They give Derek Carr a chance to tie the game. And then the lateral, hard to explain. Clearly they wanted to run the ball. I don't know why a player would go ahead and do that, but they did. And the Patriots are paying.
Well, let's go back to the end of the first half. Block punt.
True.
To get the Raiders up 2 scores. It's just, you're just not used to seeing them do things like that.
Like what's happening in that path from Bill Belichick to the players that is getting it all screwed up?
Yeah,
because
like the wires are crossed.
Yeah, because we've never seen this.
This is just my opinion, but I think Bill is having to do so much with the offense now that he's not coaching the rest of the team like he used to. It's just my opinion.
Yeah, you heard Jacoby Myers at the end of the game or in the press conference, he was like, no, the lateral wasn't the plan. Maybe I was just trying to do too much. Maybe I was trying to be the hero. But again, that's not what you normally see. You see everyone sticking to the plan.
Do your job.
Doing their job.
Do
Exactly.
your job.
Right. Knowing your role. So it's interesting. But yeah, now the Patriots move on to Cincinnati. Let's move on to the Chargers taking on the Titans, and Justin Herbert just threading needles, throwing darts, getting his team out of trouble, and helping them get the win. Cameron Dicker, the kicker, hits the 48-yard field goal late, and the win is good for the Chargers. Yeah, the Chargers have played better on defense of late, but their team hinges on the play of Justin Herbert. And again, at the end of the game, he moves to the right, makes the big-time throw to get them in field goal range. So when you got a guy like that, you have a chance. But I definitely think their defense has improved, and they're going to need it down the stretch.
They are, but these are the type of games we used to see the Chargers lose. They're struggling, it's off, tie score. But now Justin Herbert makes a couple of plays that you just scratch your head at, and they win the game. This is going to be big for them.
And we're seeing them finally embrace what he does and do what he does, not have all these passes behind the line of scrimmage. Let him get the ball down. It helps to have Keenan Allen and Mike Williams back, too. Yeah. And the defense getting healthier, and just if they can stay healthy, they could be a tough team to beat in January if they get there, and it's looking more and more likely like they will.
Yeah, and I think getting Mike Williams back has been huge. He has receivers who can catch the ball, and he has confidence in them, but that big throw, that down-the-field throw, that deep ball that you have to worry about, that's Mike Williams' specialty.
And Herbert does such a great job using their height. He throws these high, firm balls they go up and get, and you can tell they have a connection and a camaraderie together, and it's been showing up. Yeah, the Chargers looking for a playoff berth for the first time since 2018. I feel like we would be at a loss if we didn't have Justin Herbert in the postseason. Like, I want to see it. I want to see those Mike Williams catches. I want to see it all. But we'll see whether or not they can make it happen. Let's talk about the Cowboys and allowing the Jaguars to come back from being down 17. They scored 21 consecutive points in this matchup to get a win in Duval. It was great. It was great to watch. I was happy for the Jaguars. But what would you say happened to the Cowboys down the stretch?
Well, I still don't understand it. You watch it play out in real time, and it's like a score here, a score there, and then all of a sudden it's a tie game, and all of a sudden, while they're behind, they got to come back and tie the game. It's just weird. It wasn't the Cowboys we've become accustomed to. They had been dominant. What they did to the Vikings, what they did to the Colts. And last week we thought was their trap game, that they would have learned something from being taken to the limit by the Texans. And somebody in the viewing room said it today, I can't remember who, and I'm not saying that it was me, I'm just saying I really can't remember who, that they may have been peeking ahead to the Eagles next weekend.
But with all that, they come up, they get up 17 points. Everything seems to be rolling fine. Then you give up a long touchdown pass in the third quarter when you're up 17, and then it just chips away, interception here, just misplay there. It started last week. They didn't play sharp and then didn't play sharp in the last 18 minutes of this game.
Yeah, I want to flip it around and talk about the Jags, though. Mm-hmm. The quarterback has been fantastic recently. 4 touchdowns in this game and made a ton of big plays. And more than anything else, played through when they were behind. There were some negative plays. He played through them. He kind of kept that competitive spirit and, has the fumble at the end of the ball game, comes back and leads the game-winning drive. So I think we're really seeing the emergence of Trevor Lawrence. He was the difference in this game.
Mm-hmm. Trevor Lawrence has thrown 15 touchdowns, 1 interception over the last 6 games. He's been certainly impressive, but a lot of credit has to be given to Doug Peterson, too. And think about where this team was just a season ago. To be even in the conversation, to being in the AFC South, like winning the AFC South, that's huge.
I mentioned it before. When we were at the Hall of Fame game to kick off the season, Josh Allen came up to me on the field and he said, "You guys don't have us, but you're going to flex into us. We're going to be a good football team this year because of Coach Peterson. He's brought what we need." And we all kind of laughed at it at the time, but I think he was right.
Belief is a powerful word. Mm-hmm. At the end of it, if you believe, we can do it. It sounds cliche, sounds like coach speak, but that team believed, and they believed today when they were down.
Sure.
And they came back and did, and that's going to help them going forward.
Yeah, let's talk about the Lions now. 6 win in the last 7 games. It's been impressive. Every single game that they've been in, whether they've been down or leading, it's a team that continues to fight. They remind me of their coach, Dan Campbell, and they are in the conversation, Coach, to be in the playoff.
They are, and they have been playing explosive offense all year. And finally, the defense is starting to catch up, starting to make those critical plays. They've got some pass rushers, some guys who can make things happen when they need it. But more than it, you hit on it, belief. They believe that they're going to win these ball games now.
They absolutely do. And Dan Campbell has so much credibility. He was a teammate of mine for 3 years, and everybody loved him. He was everybody's favorite teammate. And he's just this gritty, tough guy. He speaks to them very genuinely, and I think they've responded to that. That offense has been awfully good. The Jets have played really good defense over the throughout the season. The offense was good again today. The defense has gotten better, and their belief that they can do it. They see the light at the end of the tunnel, and they're embracing it.
And those gutsy play calls in the clutch, the throw to Penei Sewell last week on 3rd and 7, the stuff screen today that they did on 4th and 1 to go up late. It's fun to see something like this happen. It's fun to see it fall together. And a team that gets, you hate to see a team peak at the end of the season and not get in. And then somebody gets in who was great and they fell off, and you don't want to see them play in January. I think we all want to see the Lions play in January.
Yeah, they started the season 1-6, and since then they've gone 6-1. It's impressive, and let's find out exactly what it means for the Detroit Lions in their playoff picture. We've got Steve Kornacki here to break that down.
Yeah, what a difference a month and a half makes. You mentioned the start of November when the Lions were 1-6. What were their chances of making the playoffs then? 1.5%. They were nowhere near the conversation, but they've gotten hot. They came into today 23%. Look at this. They're coming out of this weekend nearly a 40% chance now that the Lions will make the playoffs. They're 7-7, and what do they have left on their schedule? Look at that. Panthers, Bears, Packers. I know that's at Lambeau, but those are 3 teams with losing records. You look at that schedule, you look at the way the Lions are playing, they are certainly threatening to shake up the NFC playoff picture in a big way. And if they're threatening to do that on the NFC side, in the AFC side, we did see a big shakeup. Take a look at this. When it comes to the final 2 wild card spots here, it's the Chargers now. Coming into this weekend, the Chargers were not in the top 7 coming out of it. The Chargers are now number 6 in the AFC. They have nearly an 80% chance of making the playoffs. And again, you look at their remaining schedule: Colts, Rams, Broncos. Again, that's a road game at Denver there, but those are 3 teams with losing records. Chargers in the driver's seat after this weekend for one of the final 2 wild card spots. The Dolphins have that tough loss in Orchard Park, but they are clinging right now to the number 7 spot in the AFC. And keep in mind, 2 of their final 3 games are against the Pats and the Jets, the 2 teams that are chasing them. But it was the Pats who took the biggest hit today. They came in at a 42% shot. If they'd won that game in Vegas, they would right now have a 64% playoff chance. Instead, they plummet all the way down to 22%. That is a tough schedule for them. They end in Orchard Park against a Bills team that may be playing for a top seed. And then there's the Jets. The Jets in the number 9 spot right now. But just so you can see it, underscore it, the Jets finished the season at Miami. They already beat them once this year. That game looms very large when it comes potentially to one of those final playoff spots.
Oh, the AFC wildcard race is going to get better and better as we get closer to the end of the season. So much to be excited about. I'm always excited for the lightning round. So you guys ready? Let's start with the most costly loss. Was it the Jets, the Patriots, the Dolphins, or the Ravens in Week 15?
Had to be the Patriots. The way it happened and when it happened. Something like that happens in September, you can recover from it. To have it happen with 3 weeks left in the regular season, and we saw the numbers from Steve, what it did to what it would have been, 60+% all the way down to 22, had to be done.
I agree with you. Devastating. And add to that the fact they played Cincinnati, Miami, and Buffalo in their last 3 games. They needed this win.
No doubt. The Patriots and how they lost. Kornacki's number, the graph is great, but when he goes telestration on top of that, it's really impressive.
It's really impressive. He just comes in here and shows us all up, and I'm thankful for him because we don't have to talk about the playoff picture like that. He's showing some moxie.
Yeah, he sure is.
Okay, who do you trust the most other than Steve Kornacki? The Bengals, the Chiefs, or the Bills?
You know how you get biased when you talk to somebody, interview somebody, and you pick. I talked to Mahomes today, so I got to go with the Chiefs. Okay. I mean, because they've been there. They know what it takes. If they have to go on the road to Buffalo, so be it. He said he was rooting for the Dolphins and Tyreek Hill last night to beat the Bills, but wherever they have to go, they'll go. Wherever they have to play, they'll play, and they've been there. And I trust them. They have the weapons. They've got the defense. They've got everything. With the Bills, I worry about their offense. With the Chiefs, I don't.
I don't trust the Chiefs' defense right now, the way they're playing. The Bills, probably the most sound all the way around, but the Bengals are playing hot football.
They sure are. I trust the Bills the most. I thought that was a big win against Miami last night. I love the quarterback. The defense has been good. If they can just get the running game going a little bit to take some pressure off of Josh Allen. But hard to go against Mahomes, but I say Buffalo.
All right, better chance to make the playoffs, Panthers or Jags? Come back, Cats.
I got to go with the Jaguars since they won today. I mean, the Panthers lost, even though they're still alive in the worst division in football. But the Jaguars, I just feel like it's going to be Week 18. You talked about Josh Allen saying they're going to get flexed at some point. I think it's going to be Week 18, Titans at Jaguars for the AFC South.
I agree with you. The Panthers, I thought, could have taken a big step today. They kind of stumbled. Jacksonville winning, and Tennessee is not playing good football right now.
Same. Jags, love the quarterback. He was fantastic. They're on a roll.
Panthers, they actually control, though, their path to the playoff, but y'all don't believe in them. All right, good to know. Well, that's all we have for Week 15. We will see you Week 16, which is also Christmas night. We've got a present for you. It's going to be the Bucs taking on the Cards on Sunday Night Football. We'll see you for Football Night in America.
Somebody was naughty.
At 7 Eastern. You're getting coal in your stocking, Mike Florio.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.